Print on demand is one of the greatest innovations in the retail industry, but are you making these common mistakes that can lead to losing profits and getting bad customer reviews? Stay tuned to this video to learn how to avoid these problems and improve your store. Hey everyone, I'm Wes Tate. For those of you who don't know, print on demand means you are working with a fulfillment company that prints one-off orders on products that you sold to your customers. There are no order minimums, which means no costly inventory that you have to hold on to hoping that it sells. This is great news for small business owners, online store owners, and people that are just brand new to the business. Back in 2015, I started my own online store using print on demand. Since then, I've helped thousands of entrepreneurs launch their online stores and start their marketing efforts. I've learned some of the best practices out there, and most importantly, I've learned some of the biggest mistakes that you need to watch out for. That's why in today's video, I'm going to cover 5 print-on-demand mistakes to avoid. First mistake to avoid, not paying attention to the material and how it affects the print. A common headache that you're gonna run into in print-on-demand is that the mock-up doesn't always match your final product. And that's for a simple reason. It's not real. You're looking at a digital example of what your product probably will look like. You'll encounter this difference when it comes to things like the placement of your design, the fit on the model, and the colors in your final design. That's why it's always a good idea to place a sample order for new products that you're adding to your store. This allows you to see what it actually is going to look like when it's printed. Right now, I want to talk about how the product's materials can affect the outcome of your print. Print-on-demand companies are not using the traditional screen printing method. They are using a method called direct-to-garment, DTG for short. DTG printing is basically a giant screen printer that prints all of your colors at the same time onto one shirt. Kind of like an old school office printer, just on steroids. When it comes to DTG printing on clothing that has 100% cotton is going to give you the best outcome of your print. The colors are going to be more vibrant and more solid. There are some materials out there you have to look out for, like polyester. Polyester actually will absorb the ink that is used in DTG printing, which oftentimes can lead to your print looking a little bit more faded or worn, which isn't necessarily a bad thing because it might give off kind of a more vintage or worn look. Oftentimes with polyester in the material, that shirt is already going to have kind of a vintage look or feel to it because it's going to be more softer, usually more slim fit. So that vintage vibe isn't going to be bad. It's just going to add to the shirt a little bit more. It's just important that you know that that is what you're going to be getting. Print on demand is still relatively a new industry, and so technology is still changing. This isn't as big of a risk as it used to be, but it's still a good idea to order your sample products so you can see for yourself how your print comes out. There are some products out there that are 50% polyester, and this can really affect your print design. Oftentimes, this will leave your whole image looking a little bit blurry because it bled through to the polyester. This is something that print-on-demand companies will not cover in a refund or a reshipment because it's just the nature of the material. This is often found in sweatshirts. So if you're ever looking to add a sweatshirt to your store, be sure to look at the product description and see what the material make is made of. If it's 50% polyester, you might be dealing with a situation where your design will come out a little bit blurry. Again, that's why it's important for products like this to order those samples so that way you can see what you're dealing with. Save yourself the trouble of disappointed customers and a disappointed self by paying attention to the product description. Also pay attention to any disclaimers about products and products materials that print-on-demand companies may have on their website. Number 2, not customizing product descriptions. When using print on demand, you can add many products to your store in a matter of minutes. POD companies often have a pre-typed product description that you can also add to your product listing when publishing it to your store. This is amazing and saves you so much time. However, it can actually hurt your SEO in places like Google. Let's say you have 15 products on your store. Each of them have the same exact product description. Google's gonna find that a little bit odd, and when people are searching on Google, it's going to dock your rankings in the search engine. Now just think about how many thousands of other people are also using print on demand and also probably have 15 products on their store, and they also have the same product description. That's a lot of the same information that Google can see all of it, and it's not going to show that stuff to customers searching online. You need to be showing search engines as well as your customers that your products are different and unique. Google also uses your product description to match keywords with what customers are searching. So when you're putting your own spin on your product description, be sure to add it with all of your keywords so that way customers have a better chance of finding you. Number 3, not giving accurate fulfillment times. There's a lot of pressure to provide customers with a fast service, and oftentimes people will overpromise things like fulfillment times. Sometimes it can be an innocent mistake of confusing business days with calendar days. FYI, business days mean you don't count the weekends or holidays. For example, let's say your fulfillment company says 5 business days is the fulfillment time, but you put on the website that your fulfillment time is 5 days, which is calendar days. Your customer places an order on Friday, 5 days from that is Tuesday. However, 5 business days from Friday is Thursday. That's 7 calendar days. So now, according to your website, you're 2 days late. You're not gonna have a happy customer. Also, I'm making this video in August 2020. And unless you have amnesia, you know how crazy the world is right now. Pay close attention to any print-on-demand or fulfillment companies that you're working with to see what their information is about their fulfillment times. Do not sugarcoat this information to your customers. You'll only upset a customer and potentially lose a customer if you're not honest with them. Everyone is being pretty understanding right now, and that's why it's important to set your customers' expectations correctly. No one is going to be upset with you for getting exactly what they expected. Number 4, not following print file guidelines. This point is one that's often overlooked and can be a costly mistake. It also falls in line with paying attention to the product material. Each type of product is going to have its own set of guidelines, from the dimensions of the design, the format, the color value. This is all important. It doesn't matter how much experience you have. You need to follow the guidelines provided by your fulfillment partner. That way you can get the best results possible. And that's pretty much all I have to say about that point. Just follow instructions. It's so important to follow instructions. It'll save you so much time, anger, money, and stress. Number 5, not planning ahead. Okay, this one's hard to talk about because it is 2020, but it's important to plan ahead as best as you possibly can. I'm talking specifically if you're trying to sell products for a certain occasion, a holiday, or an event that's coming up. You need to start planning from the last possible day that your customer can receive the product to have it for the certain occasion that you're selling for. For an example, let's take Mother's Day 2021. Okay, I'm gonna have to read this one. Mother's Day 2021 will be on Sunday, May 9th, which means the last day that the customer can get the product is on Friday, May 7th, because we talked about business days earlier, right? So we have to make sure that it lands on a business day, which is Friday. Now, we need to know what our fulfillment time is. So let's say our fulfillment time is 10 business days. That puts us at April 23rd. Now let's add our shipping time. Let's say shipping time is 6 business days. That puts us at April 15th. This means that this is the last business day that a customer can place an order before Mother's Day to make sure that they get it in time. Now, this is all hypothetical. I'm picking out these numbers. You need to check with your fulfillment partners to see their fulfillment times and all that stuff as it gets closer. Don't come at me if this information isn't correct, but it's an example of how you plan, okay? Now let's add how many days we want to actually promote our sale and our products for Mother's Day. Let's say we want 5 days of promotions and reminding people to place their order for Mother's Day. That means we need to start the promotions on Saturday, April 10th. Now let's give yourself 1 week to create the emails, the social media post, and anything else you might need to run your sale. That's going to put us on Monday, April 5th. You see how quickly you can fall behind if you don't start mapping this out? Let's continue. Let's say you actually want to create new designs for the products that you're going to be selling on Mother's Day. You'll want to add time in for your design work and ordering samples and things like that. That can put you all the way back to the 1st of March. I hope this doesn't scare you, but this is a realistic look at what being prepared and planning ahead in print on demand actually looks like. Staying ahead like this is going to help you out so much in the long run. It's going to reduce so much stress. There's no more, oh, I want to start my promotion tomorrow, so today I have to write my email and send it out and do all this social media posting. It gives you time to relax, make sure you have everything in order, you're doing all the right things, and those things are going to add up to you having happy customers, to you making more money, and your store growing. And there you go, the 5 print-on-demand mistakes to avoid. I hope you found this video helpful and encouraging. If you learned something new today, why don't you let me know about it in the comments below. And if you like this video, be sure to pass it along to a friend who could use it.